Unraveling the mysteries of ancient civilizations, from Celtic Exodus to Egyptian Enigmas. Journey with us as we delve into the untold tales of lost civilizations, forgotten migrations, and perplexing archaeological discoveries that challenge everything we thought we knew about human history. Prepare to be captivated as we explore the hidden origins of civilization, from the shores of Britain to the sands of Egypt, uncovering secrets buried beneath the sands of time. Are you ready to question the narratives of the past and uncover the truth that lies beyond the boundaries of conventional wisdom? Join us on an expedition into the unknown, where every revelation brings us closer to understanding the ancient mysteries that continue to intrigue and inspire us today. Unveiling ancient chronicles, echoes of forgotten migrations, and enigmatic origins. The land we now call Egypt was colonized and was originally peopled by fair Celts from the shores of Britain. This was the exodus of the Aryans, some of whom returned later to their primeval homes. Commons Beaumont, riddle of prehistoric Britain. Classical archaeologists are in agreement that ancient migrations did take place in prehistoric times, although they often tend to be rather hazy about the dates and the countries involved. Ralph Ellis, Jesus, Last of the Pharaohs. We learn from official sources, Christian, Judaic, and other, that the symbols found throughout Western countries on flags and state regalia, etc., come from spurious migrating Semitic tribes. We are told that the symbolism originates with these tribes and that it goes back to the dawn of time. But we also know that the dawn of time means officially. We know that it refers to the period between 7,000 and 11,000 years ago, with the age that had its beginnings in the Levant, Middle East. As we are slowly beginning to realize, these dates are not the true beginning of mankind's cultural and technical history. Herodotus himself is on record as having been told by contemporary Egyptian priests that their written records went back no less than 12,000 years. Eusebius, the early Christian bishop of Alexandria, calculated Manetho's recorded history as taking Egypt's civilization back 35,525 years. Other records, both cultural and historical, were far more ancient still. John Gordon, Egypt, Child of Atlantis. The perceptive researcher realizes that there were extremely advanced civilizations in existence thousands of years previous to these untenable official dates. Clearly, we are not meant to look back too far and are not meant to believe in antediluvian civilizations. But what happens if we do find evidence that proves that man was civilized eons before 11,000 years ago? Certainly, it does not take a lot of investigating or proof to understand that great civilizations of the world could not just blossom into existence with all kinds of fully fledged customs, idioms, and techniques, but with no antecedent stages that must have existed. Particularly in the case of pre-dynastic Egypt, we marvel at the construction of the Great Pyramid, the Osirion, and the temples of Karnak and Luxor, but cannot account for the technology that built them. Author and expert on Egypt, Ralph Ellis, clarifies the contentious but revealing issue for us. The early craftsmanship and construction from the Old Kingdom are the finest, and the quality of and dimensions of each monument reduced then on throughout the following millennia. There were a number of magnificent monuments that were made during mankind's early megalithic era. These include monuments as diverse as Stonehenge and Avebury in England, Teotihuacan in Mexico, Chuchu in Manchuria, Hagar Kim in Malta, Baalbek in Lebanon, Ephyra in Greece, Cusco in Peru, Giza in Egypt, and the Osirion at Abydos. Despite the geographic diversity of these monuments, they all share some common features. They were built in the prehistoric era, they were all associated with religious centers, they were all made from megalithic architecture, they were mostly exquisitely carved and manufactured, often bafflingly so. And last but certainly not least, all of these monuments were utterly devoid of inscription. the granite megaliths carved into a giant jigsaw puzzle at Cusco, and the 1,000-ton bricks that were being used at Baalbek would stretch any modern stonemason's imagination and scales to their limits. These temples were not dedicated to any one particular monarch, nor to any one particular god. They were instead dedicated to the observation and the study of the universe, Eden in Egypt. The untold narrative challenging conventional origins and unveiling Irish civilization's role. Although equally magnificent temples and megaliths exist in Ireland, Scandinavia, North America, and Mexico, although entire lost cities are found beneath the oceans, and although the vast majority of words, place names, and personal names in the Bible are of Irish origins, we would rather live with mysteries and unsolvable conundrums than face the actual truth. In almost every case where major site exists, or where a great civilization existed, we find the same refrain from the modern inhabitants. Either we are told that godlike strangers erected the sites, or that technically superior semi-divine ancestors, of whom we now suspiciously find no trace, did it. Archaeologists are more than lax to explain who these foreigners or mysterious ancestors were. The world over, legends affirm that indigenous forebears were not the builders, astronomers, and healers. Investigators have habitually looked to every country except Ireland for their answers. It is almost comical to say that we can be certain that Ireland played a seminal role merely because the laws of exclusion are in its favor. All other countries have been studied and can be struck off as originators of civilization. So dare we now, at long last, face the truth that has lain in plain sight for so long? Dare we examine the evidence for the Irish origins of civilization and have done with the damnable conundrums? The ancient Egyptians were fully aware of the 25,920-year cycle of the precession of the equinoxes. The idea, however, that a nomadic group of hunter-gatherers about 5,000 to 6,000 years ago should suddenly, within the space of a few hundred years or even a millennium, from merely watching the night sky but without using any instrumentation, be able to quickly develop the requisite mathematical and scientific knowledge to verify such a hypothesis is patently ludicrous. John Gordon, Egypt, child of Atlantis. One of the most important finds within the land of Egypt occurred when the Egyptologist and archaeologist Professor Walter B. Emery, 1903 to 1971, was excavating tombs at the necropolis of Saqqara, one of the oldest cities in the land. There, Professor Emery discovered men with blonde hair and fair complexions. These individuals were revered and honored by the Egyptians as specially endowed elite. Authors Vittorio di Cesare and Adriano Forgione write about Emery's enigmatic discoveries in their article, Malta, Skulls of the Mother Goddess. The famous Egyptologist, author of Archaic Egypt, discovered the remains of individuals who lived in the pre-dynastic epoch. These presented a dolichocephalous skull, larger than that of the local ethnic group, fair hair, and a taller, heavier build. Emery declared that this stock wasn't indigenous to Egypt, but had performed an important sacerdotal and governmental role in this country. This race kept its distance from the common people, blending only with the aristocratic classes, and the scholar associated them with the Shemsu Or, the disciples of Horus. The Shemsu Or are recognized as the dominant sacerdotal caste in pre-dynastic Egypt until approximately 3000 BC, being mentioned in the Turin Papyrus and the list of the king of Abydos. As we peel back the layers of time, we find ourselves on the brink of revelation, poised to unlock the secrets of our ancient origins. But this is just the beginning of our quest. Join us in our next expedition, where we continue our pursuit of truth and delve deeper into the mysteries that have eluded us for centuries. The journey continues, and the answers await those brave enough to seek them. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, share the video, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time.